What is up, guys? I'm Richard from Phone.Plus, and today we're gonna test the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. One very interesting point to take here is the iPhone 6 Plus and its large display over here, because it is the largest display ever made on an iPhone. And it's gonna be very interesting to do a drop test on. But in our test, we're not just gonna check the outside, but also the inside of the phone. So to do this, we're gonna use the Phone.Plus app to check all the inside 27 basic hardware functions inside. So without further ado, let's check this out with the app. So as you can see here, on the overview here, we got all these checks here. So what's left to do is just to drop these on the ground and see how it goes. 3, 2, 1. It didn't sound very good, but when I check it out, the back doesn't have any damage, but the corners does have some scratches here and there. As you can see here in this corner got a little one too. And yes, we got some on the right upper corner here too. But except that, doesn't look that damaged actually. So we're gonna go forward and use the Phone.Plus app to check things out on the inside. Let's check here, and it looks pretty good. No damage whatsoever on the inside. So we're gonna go ahead. As you can see, all the tests, 27, they all passed. So let's go to the second test. Here we go, on the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, and that did not sound so good, but yeah, just a bit more scratches here on the bottom actually, and nothing here, just a bit on the corner here. On the top we got some bruises on here, but yeah, doesn't really look that damaged actually. So we're just gonna check it out with the Phone.Plus app, see if anything is happening on the inside. And yeah, everything looks all right. So without further ado, we're actually going to do the last and the third drop tests. So with the face down, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wow, this display is cracked. That's all I can say. You can see right here that this display is really cracked, and I mean, we don't really need to investigate further, and I actually don't really want to touch this. I could actually damage my fingers here, so I'm gonna use a small pen here to check the display functions in here. So I'm just gonna check them out before we do anything else. And as it looks like, here on the inside, actually everything, all the sensors of the display and everything actually passed the test. So it is good on the inside, even though it looks really horrible on the outside. So now the test is actually done with the little brother iPhone 6. So without further ado, we're actually gonna go on to test the bigger brother iPhone 6 Plus. And now we'll finally see if this bigger display cracks worse than the smaller one or not. So we're gonna do the same way as we did on the first one. We're gonna first drop it on the back, then on the bottom, and then on its face. So without further ado, let's just go on with the first drop test. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wow, that didn't sound that good, but it didn't land flat on the back either. So we're just gonna check out the damages here, and it is on the corners. Just some bruises here and there, as you can see here on the bottom end, and yeah, not really much actually. So we're just gonna go on and check out the Phone Doctor Plus app and the 27 basic hardware functions. And after some testing here inside the phone, not so surprisingly, all the tests, all the 27 tests are actually passed here. So without further ado, let's just go to the second drop test, which is on the bottom of the phone. 3, 2, 1. Oh, as you could hear, it didn't sound that good, and whoa, we got a crushed display. I will show you here, guys. As you can see here, pretty much crushed, and it is mostly crushed here on the downside, but I mean the whole display is just crushed anyway. Besides that, we got some bruises here on the downside where it actually landed, but except that, nothing really happened. So we're gonna see what's happening on the inside of the phone, if anything is malfunctioning or not. So I'm just gonna check it out for a bit. After some testing with the Phone Doctor Plus app, everything looks all right. So all the hardware is actually doing pretty good. And the only thing we saw is the display is actually cracked to the level where actually the LED starts to have some reactions here. As you can see, if I press here, we got some reactions on the side. You can see some waves coming out from when I press down here, and that's usually not a good sign. So actually, even though it's really broken at the time, we're actually going to the third step in our drop test to do with the face down. So let's just go ahead and drop this down. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, that did not sound so good, but it doesn't look that much crack. I thought it was gonna crack even more than it is right now, because it was already cracked before we even dropped it down. But one major thing you can see here is that the glass down here is actually completely gone. So not so surprisingly, very cracked, some glass gone. Besides that, not very much happened, so we're just gonna go ahead and use the Phone Doctor Plus app, check if the inside is alright or not. So after checking everything up, checking the hardware, it looks good actually. So far, so good, even with the app actually. So to summarize everything up, not just the iPhone 6 Plus, but also the little brother, iPhone 6. They both passed all the 3 drop tests without any internal hardware broken. So we thought that it would be a bit boring to just end like this. So we're gonna do an ultimate drop test. So we're gonna just drop this from 5 meters, right here, from the 2nd floor. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop it here, okay? Woo! This is a bit higher than 5 meters actually. This is probably about 8 meters or so, which makes it a really good place to drop these 2 guys. So we're gonna start, as we did before, we're gonna start with this iPhone 6, which is already really cracked. So here we go, the moment of truth. Here we go, the iPhone 6 final epic drop test. 3, 2, 1. Sounded pretty bad actually. So now we're gonna go for the bigger one. Final epic draw test. iPhone 6 Plus. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. This does not look. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. And yeah, well, from just the look of it, I don't know if you can see this, but the display on the iPhone 6 looks really bad. And to just confirm it, it's actually, you can actually run the system and you can actually press buttons, but the display does not react. So the on-off button still working, you can see something is happening in there, but the display does not look good at all. Okay, so this probably is not worth repairing anyhow. So if we go on to the iPhone 6 Plus, the display does surprisingly enough look pretty much the same as before, but if you check this out, it's actually quite separated from its main body. This side is the most serious one, if you see right here. So now we're gonna use the Phone Doctor Plus app to examine the 27 functions of the iPhone 6 Plus and see if it's working or not. Yeah, surprisingly enough, everything is all right within this phone. All the 27 function tests, they're all passed, and I'm amazed. I mean, a drop from 8 meters, I never thought that it would make it. I thought it would end up like the iPhone 6 did, like completely dead. So this is some really amazing results. So if you like the results, why don't you leave a comment down below or a thumbs up on that? It would be really great for us. And this has been Richard from Phone Doctor Plus, the ultimate iPhone examiner. Thank you for watching.